Senate vote, Speaker Johnson criticised the current iteration of the legislation for not addressing issues at the US-Mexico border, which has seen a record number of migrant crossings under the Biden administration. Mr. Johnson implied he wouldn't even schedule a House vote anytime soon, though President Biden called on the Speaker to act quickly.
I urge Speaker Johnson to bring it to the floor immediately. There's no question that the Senate bill was put on the floor in the House of Representatives, it would pass. It would pass. For Republicans in Congress who think they can oppose funding for Ukraine and not be held accountable, history is watching. History is watching. History is watching. Failures for Ukraine at this critical moment will never be forgotten.
The bill allocates $95 billion, or more than £75 billion, in aid for America's national security interests. Roughly $60 billion is earmarked for Kyiv, $14 billion for Israel, another $10 billion for humanitarian efforts, including in Gaza, and $4 billion for Indo-Pacific allies. Tuesday's supplemental bill is a stripped-down version of the $118 billion aid package that Senate Republicans voted down last week after it drew criticism from former President Donald Trump and Speaker Johnson. In Kyiv, Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky applauded the Senate's passage of the deal, writing on X, "For us in Ukraine, continued U.S. assistance helps to save human lives from Russian terror. It means that life will continue in our cities and will triumph over war." Our correspondent Sarah Rainsford has more now on the view from Kyiv.
Well, this news has obviously been welcomed here in Kyiv. We've heard from President Zelensky, who said it brings peace closer in Ukraine and talked about this deal helping the security and prosperity of Americans and the free world, as he put it, so not just for Ukraine. But he also talked about it really boosting confidence here inside